Who are you when no one's watching? Not who you pose to be, not who they expect you to be, but you, the girl underneath all the shoulds and must. Do you even recognize her anymore? Who are you when no one's watching? I used to think I knew my name, my likes, the way I laughed at the right moments, nodded at the right beliefs, wore the right clothes. I was polished, put together, pleasant. But late at night, when the world got quiet, there was this hollow ache in my chest. Not pain exactly, just this unbearable emptiness. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." And I realized I hadn't even started. Welcome to Petunia Diaries, a soft, calming, feminine space where we rest, breathe, and our souls can just be. And this is today's voice note. In Jungian psychology, the persona is the social mask we wear. It's who we present to the world, the version of ourselves tailored for approval. I had many masks: the good daughter, the smart girl, the one who has it all together. But I wore them for so long that I forgot there was someone beneath. I confused the mask with the self, and Jung warned about this exact thing. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. I was avoiding mine. I mistook being accepted for being authentic, and the scariest part, I was praised for it. The more I abandoned my truth, the more applause I got. But the applause started to echo, and one day I couldn't tell if they were clapping for me or for the character I was playing. The breakdown didn't come like thunder. It came in whispers, in the quiet frustration I felt when no one understood me, in the tears I shed for no clear reason, in the exhaustion of pretending I was fine. Jung called it the shadow, the unconscious parts of ourselves we deny, repress, or disown. The anger I swallowed, the jealousy I buried, the desires I labeled wrong. They didn't disappear, they waited, and eventually they began to speak. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, Jung said, but by making the darkness conscious. I had to stop hiding from my shadow. I had to sit with it, ask it what it wanted to show me, and oh, it had stories. Living disconnected from your true self feels like walking in shoes 2 sizes too small. You can survive, sure, but you'll never dance. There's a psychological cost to living a lie. It shows up as anxiety, as burnout, as relationships that feel surface deep. I began to see the patterns, saying yes when I wanted to scream no, smiling when I was breaking, minimizing myself to fit into spaces I'd long outgrown. I wasn't broken, I was buried. Individuation. This is where Jung's most powerful concept comes. It's not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming yourself fully, fearlessly, and consciously. It means integrating your persona and your shadow, embracing both your light and your darkness, owning your contradictions and forgiving your past selves. I am not what happened to me, Jung said. I am what I choose to become. Individuation is messy. It's not about perfection, it's about wholeness. And wholeness requires you to stop editing yourself for others. Along this path, Jung introduces us to archetypes, universal patterns of the psyche, the inner child, the warrior, the mother, the sage, the lover. I met them all. In my dreams, in my wounds, in my longings, I found out my anxiety wasn't weakness, it was my inner child screaming for safety. My anger wasn't ugly, it was my warrior rising to protect my boundaries. My intuition, that was the sage, quiet but always right. These parts weren't fragments, they were me asking to be seen. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. This quote hit me like thunder. I'd spent years thinking life just happened to me, but what if I was unconsciously choosing it? Here's the secret: Jung never sugarcoated. The journey to the true self is not glamorous. It's not found in aesthetic morning routines or spiritual quotes on your feed. It's found in doing the inner work, in crying over childhood memories, in sitting with discomfort, in forgiving your shadows and confronting your illusions. But the beauty, you start to come home to yourself, and when you live from your true self, your boundaries become sacred. Your relationships shift, your silence feels like power, and the approval of others becomes less tempting than your own peace. You were never broken, you were buried beneath layers of survival, expectation, and fear. Carl Jung gave us the map, but you have to walk the path. And maybe the most radical thing you'll ever do in a world that profits off your self-doubt is to become yourself unapologetically, wholly, beautifully, because the world doesn't need another version of who you should be. If this spoke to your heart, I would love for you to subscribe, leave me a little note in the comments, or just send some love. Your presence here is a gift, and I'm so grateful you chose to spend your precious time with me.